In this video, they will be giving us points, 2 points, usually the endpoints of a diameter, like these. And we will be asked to find the center, and then from there calculate the radius. Once you have the center and the radius, you can make the equation of a circle. So our first question, a diameter has endpoints, 5, 5, and -1, -3. So our circle would actually be, let's see, maybe do a different color here. Our circle is like this, and we are looking for the center there. And we are going to divide this sheet up into 2 sections here. Let's do the center in yellow, and I don't know, let's maybe do the radius in pink. Radius, since I have the pink out here, is going to be the distance formula. How far away from the center to one of those points is it? And then the center, well, look at the 2 blue points. Where is the center? It's right in the middle. So what are we going to use? The midpoint formula. So both of these are going all the way back to Unit 1. We've come full circle, so to speak. The last unit is using material from the first unit. Get it, full circle? So what do? Midpoint, midpoint, what do? We're going to take the 5 and the -1. We're going to add them together. Divide them by 2. Those are the 2 x's, the 2 y's, and that is 4 divided by 2 and 2 divided by 2. And there is the center. The center is 2, 1. Okay, what about our radius? Our radius is going to need 2 points. And, we have a choice of 5, 5, and -1, -3. I'm going to avoid those negative numbers. So I'm going to use 5, 5. And then I'm going to bring in my center here. And what is the distance between those 2 points? We're going to subtract the x's, square them, add them to the difference between the y's. That would give you r squared. And this is our old friend 3, 4, 5. 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. And if we were being asked how long this radius is, we would say that was 5. But actually, we are writing the equation of the circle. Maybe let's go back to blue here. The equation of this circle, drum roll please, is x minus the center x coordinate, minus what? Minus 2. Square that. Minus 1, square that. Equals the radius squared. That's the equation of that circle. Write an equation for this circle. The diameter, again, we've been given endpoints, so we're talking about, a line segment, and what are we doing? We are just trying to find the midpoint. Let's get rid of that. I'm going to need that space. And I will make, I've got 4 problems to show you. Here's my second chance to draw a good circle. Nope. One more chance. Not too bad. So we are looking for the center. And I'm not really counting squares on this little blue graph paper, but it did help me plot those points a little bit. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to look for a center. We're going to use midpoint for that. And then we are going to find a radius. So what is the midpoint of these 2 given points? Am I going to add or subtract? I will confess that sometimes I subtract by mistake. And especially with a negative number, we're going to add a negative number. That's negative 6 divided by 2. With 12 and 6, am I going to subtract? No, I'm going to add them. 18 divided by 2 gives me 9. And then you want to come over here and just check, does that make sense? Does this make sense that this is negative 3? Yeah, that's between negative 6 and 0 and 9. Sure, that's what's between 12 and 6. So we're good. And sometimes on SOL questions, which sadly we are not taking this year, they would just ask you, perhaps, here are the endpoints of the diameter, give us the center. But we will keep going. 2 questions for the price of 1. And that is, what is the distance between this center and, let's pick 0, 6. That looks easier to me. No reason to deal with negatives if we don't need to. And now we're going to subtract these. So 0 minus negative 3 gives me a 3 squared. 6 minus 9 is a negative 3 squared. Doesn't matter, it's still 9 plus 9. So that is either, we could think of that as a square root of 18, or if we were interested in simplifying, that's actually square root of 9 times square root of 2. Square root of 9 is 3. And just a little bonus here, if we took the distance from this point here on the x direction, that's 3. This direction is also 3. I'm sorry, I should be drawing that in a different way. Get out my eraser. Yeah, here's our hypotenuse. So y direction 3, x direction 3. Now I'll just redraw that over here. What is a right triangle? That's isosceles. The hypotenuse is root 2 longer. Have we ever seen that before? Special right triangles, chapter 7. Okay, I know you didn't ask for that bonus. Let's get this over with. And I think we were using blue for our circle equation. Well, we're going to plug in our center on the left. Tricky here, it's a minus 3. So minus 3 gives us the plus sign. But then over here is a positive number, so y minus the y coordinate of the center. And then we have r squared is actually the 18. Circle of that equation. A little bit different here now. They are giving us the center. Actually, this is easier, right? This is the center of the circle. Here we go. Take 3 on the drawing of a rather large circle. I don't know. Good enough, right? But this is the center of this circle. I guess really it'd be not quite so far out there. There we go. We don't know the radius. So the center has been given to us. 8, 0. Boom, I'm done. But what is the radius? Well, the radius, and yeah, we'll just put this in distance formula. So r is the square root of, subtract the x's, square them, subtract the y's, 0 minus 12, minus 12. And this is a perfect Pythagorean triple. This is 25 plus 144, which is the square root of 169, which is 13. So if we were being asked the radius, we would simplify that to 13. But since we're being asked the equation of the circle, let's just keep that 169. And this is x minus what? That is an x plus y minus nothing equals 169. Last one. Write an equation for this circle. The center is 0, 0, and the point on the circle is 5, 7. And here we're going to see, look, they've already given us the center, so we could go ahead and do the left side of our circle equation. X minus nothing, x squared. Y minus nothing, so that is at the origin there. By the way, I could draw... Come on, you can do this. Pretty good, except my circle has kind of a corner down on the right there. So what is r squared here? Well, it's going to be, we actually plug in 5 for x. Let me put this in blue. X minus our radius. Is this the distance formula or is this the circle formula? I can't tell the difference. 7 minus 0 gives me r squared. That's 25. That's 49. This is still r squared. And if I were solving for r, I would take the square root of these. Right? So I would say r is the square root of 74. But in my circle equation, I can just go ahead and replace this r with, oh, I'm sorry, I'm also going to get rid of, because I don't want square root of 74 squared. Square root of 74 squared is 74. So that is the equation of that circle. Okay, well now you know, and good luck with your assignment.